And now, Style Club Radio. Style Club Radio.
Welcome to Style Club Radio with myself, Josh DeMarco, my wonderful co-host, Steve Sanchez.
Hi, Steve in House of Dapper.
In Dapper. And we are with the amazing Michelle Miller.
I wish I got that Robin paycheck, though.
One day, Michelle,
I want
one
my own
day.
yacht.
You will get it. So today we're going to switch it up a little bit for everybody. We have two great guests. We're giving you full segments. We're splitting it into, we're going to have the first half and the second half. I'm actually really, really excited and interested to interview them because I feel like what they're combining are things that you wouldn't normally think would go together, right?
But when you think about
But they do go together.
Yeah, they do.
together.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like everyone's been
Holistic.
separating them,
Yeah.
but our guests brought them together.
Bringing them together. Making
Amazing.
them
Brilliant.
meld.
So before we jump into Robbie, I just want to throw a little plug out there. We are sitting at Dapper Grooming Parlor. We are currently hiring. So if anyone's listening and knows an amazing barber and or stylist that is amazing with men's hair, I would love to meet you because we need help. You know, we're at the point where we're growing and we need some more
But can we
talent.
just clarify why no one has applied for this job?
No, one three
Wait.
people.
Oh, okay.
Wait, I applied.
Exactly.
You're hired.
Exactly.
I feel like Josh has a bit of a reputation for being a perfectionist, and
As it should be.
yeah,
Right?
right, exactly.
Thank you.
So I
Thank
think
you.
it gets
Thank you, guest. I love that.
a little intimidating, but there's got to be somebody out there that like wants to push themselves, and really kind of bring it. But
Yep. So
we're waiting.
if you want to work at Dapper or you just want to see where we record this amazing show, feel free to reach out to us because we're looking forward to meeting you. Now we don't want to waste any more time. I want to jump right into my guest. People always talk about life going in full circle, and it's interesting to me because the person I'm right about to interview is somebody that I met 11 years ago when I started my career.
When you were a baby.
When I was
A
a
tiny
baby.
little baby.
When I was doing shampoos for a living. And
So that was what, 1912?
1912.
Well,
Yes.
okay, perfect.
Yes, exactly. We used to recycle water back then.
Oh, yeah.
throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
And we have Robbie Nelson in the house, who is legendary makeup artist. And the reason I know he's a legendary makeup artist is because when I started at my first salon, everyone talked about how legendary this guy was. He had his own room,
Legendary. I love
right?
that
Robbie
word.
had his own room.
It's true.
No, but all jokes aside, Robbie, it's great to see you. And it's really great to see that you're doing so well.
Yeah.
So I want to jump right into why you're here, what you're promoting, and what you're doing with your life, or your career, I should say, because
Right.
you've had a very long career.
Yeah. Thanks, Josh.
Yeah. No.
Why don't we
Thanks,
start at the beginning though? Like how now you're into, and we'll dive way deeper into the skin side of things.
Surely.
But you started your career as a professional makeup artist.
Yeah, I was a
and-
makeup artist.
Yeah.
I was like a photographer's makeup artist. I traveled extensively. And then when I met Josh is when I had come into a salon situation. And
So
pretty
when
amazing.
you traveled extensively, what'd you do? Dish with us.
I
for a day.
I did Fashion Week everywhere.
Okay.
I did Fashion Week in Milan, and I did Fashion Week in London and in New York.
Wow, that's exciting.
That is exciting.
You know
I
what
know.
else-
Look at Steve. Like he's like, I love fashion.
I'm obsessed.
And I did photography makeup, and it was in the day before retouching, which ages me drastically, but it's true, where you had to be a perfectionist. I've heard Linda Evangelista say recently that a monkey could do her makeup now because there's so much retouching.
So much retouching.
I actually modeled professionally when I was like 15 and 16. Don't look at me, Chris.
We
I'm
may
just
have
kidding.
met.
But I remember like it being an enormous deal if you had a slight blemish or if your skin was
Surely.
blotchy or whatever, because retouching was not a thing. Like you had to be on and you had to look the way you looked. So a tremendous amount of time was taken doing lighting. And remember like the tester Polaroids?
Polaroids.
And yeah.
I have boxes and boxes of Polaroids, really
Yeah.
amazing ones.
It's crazy, but it's true. Like nowadays you just Photoshop on your cell
Like it.
phone, look all fabulous.
You can hit one button and it just does a sweep.
Yeah, we know because Steve Ella sends us the most disturbing yet funny whatever those are.
Snapchat.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed with Snapchat. I can't
Wait,
help it.
I had a Snapchat filter once. I had no makeup on, and this Snapchat filter gave me amazing makeup. It like did my eyebrows, my lipstick. I'm like, we are in the future, people. We are in the future.
Technology.
Technology.
So, Robbie, another little thing, and again, I mean,
Please.
you've done a lot, but I always remember, like, when I first heard you come on the show, the first thing I thought of was he did Gia's makeup.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, not only her makeup, I went to
Gia.
school with Gia.
Really?
pretty awesome.
I went to high school with Gia. I was a few years older. I was a senior when I met her. She was, I guess, a freshman. And we hit it off, kaboom.
Was she beautiful as a freshman?
She was an amazingly beautiful girl. I'll show you some photos. from
I'm,
her family.
Polaroids.
I'm sure. Like,
Polaroids.
No, not Polaroids, like
real
home
photos.
shots. Like we were kids.
Yeah.
Once she was modeling, I wasn't really in her life anymore.
For anyone listening at home who isn't aware of the Gia that we're speaking of,
Gia Karanji.
yes, Angelina Jolie played her in a breakout role. She was considered one of the first really big supermodels, right? Like
Yeah.
before that was a word.
Right.
right.
The movie's incredible. Her life was a burst of light, you know, that kind of ended quickly
Tragic.
and tragically,
Tragic.
but definitely legendary, right?
Right.
So much so
Amazing.
that Angelina
Amazing.
That's a whole
Jolie
other
played
show,
her.
kids.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
a really whole other show.
That's
because
a late night show.
Well,
Wait, this is on
my
at
time
11
with
p.m.,
her
it's
was
late.
all going up. It was all, we had so much fun. I wasn't involved in her slide.
Oh,
Yeah,
But
that's-
I had an amazing time with her.
that's so cool.
She was a fun, when she was fun, she was fun.
I saw the movie.
Oh, right. I saw the movie too,
She
many
was,
times.
That movie was really well done. There was
Yeah.
nothing like her.
Oh, wow.
Nothing like her whatsoever.
Wow.
Very
So
interesting.
before we like kind of go into the break, I want to, Robbie, give us like a little bit about your background, and then we're going to go more into where you are now in your career. But how does it, if you could sum up, how is it that you go from being this very established makeup artist? I mean, I don't know the first thing about makeup, and when I
Surely.
look around, I know all these girls of their brows, their eyes, like there's so much makeup, they're contouring, and
Right.
if I remember correctly, I mean, you've always been a guy that's like, I'm a simpler guy, like let it go to their skin, their natural beauty.
Absolutely.
You know, you see these like funny things on the internet where these women are so beautiful, they wash their face, and you're like, who's that?
Yeah.
Right. So clearly, that's not. Where
It's,
you
it's
were
not
more
what I ever
simpler.
did. No,
Right.
when I started working, I worked with and met an incredible woman named Lydia Snyder, and she was doing all Revlon campaigns. Amazing work, and I got to work with her hand to hand, and she guided me on my career. So I really started doing beauty, just really tight, close-up, natural makeup. And again, it had to be flawless because the retouching at that point was astronomical. It was all done by hand or a huge computer the size of this room called a Cytec. Again, I'm aging myself.
Yeah. Side,
Yeah.
not sidekick.
No, Cytec.
Side tech.
What are your thoughts about makeup now? I feel like so drag is such a big thing now that I think that drag has come all the way full circle where
Sure.
it's influencing women. So
But it's
instead
influencing the real people, which
Yes.
is kind of a problem. Yeah.
Right. I walked down the street the other day. I saw a woman with the craziest eyebrows I've ever
Yeah.
seen in my life.
Ombre,
I had to
right?
like take a
Ombre.
breath, and it was so painted on. But like, how does that affect your aesthetic and like the makeup?
Well,
that you
it
see
boggles
these
my
days?
mind. It really does. It's not what I ever did. It's not what I do. I can appreciate it if it's well done.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll stare at somebody and say, "Wow, that's an amazing procedure," but why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
literally, I saw ombre eyebrows recently.
after,
is
I know we're going to go to a
interesting.
break soon, but I think that we really need to talk about, because I'm so obsessed with it, because it just happened, is the Met Gala, and I would love your take on some, like, the obviously the outfits, but also the makeup, like, to your point, how it's changed
Yeah.
from what it used to be to, like, now.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well,
this was obviously, like, a lot more than that, but
Yeah.
Well, the whole Met Gala has changed completely. You know, now it's a social media event for these superstars, and it used to be fundraising only, and it's
Right.
really gone full circle. It's quite amazing, though.
Yep.
Well, we're going to get more into the Met Gala and more about Robbie's slogan that less is more when it comes to makeup, because you know what? The Met Gala is more is more.
More is
More
way
is
more.
more.
So, guys, we'll be back with you right after this. We're going to dive more into Robbie Nelson and what he's doing now at Demi